our guys are excited about going and playing at Washington. That's always a fun place to play. And of course, an excellent football team and being on Fox national television. And I'm excited about going to the West Coast and playing an afternoon game too. So that's exciting for our team. So I'll take any questions at this time.
Mike, you've obviously coached defensive backs a lot, and you guys have had some good ones here, but they've had one of the best secondaries in the country the last couple of years. Are you able to at all appreciate what they do back there, or is it hard?
No,
to
they've got
appreciate
really good players. They've had, they're good now. They've had some really good interior guys. It's always good to have good interior guys to help your secondary too. But I've always been very impressed with Washington's secondary and their talent and athletic ability, and they're good at corner and at safety. And I think Taylor Rapp, he can do about a little bit of everything. He's just kind of a playmaker, and their corners are excellent players, and their nickel back, he covers like a magnet. He's all over them, so they've got a really good secondary.
Mike, your defense played very well last week against the run, especially. Another big test this week. What's different with Washington's attack as far as what they bring to the table with Gaskin and Ahmed?
They're an excellent 1-2 punch, but, they played a couple other running backs the other day that looked really good too, 25 and I believe 24. But their offensive line is big and powerful. They lost one of their great offensive linemen, the tackle, earlier in preseason camp. But they're a very big, powerful offensive line. The thing that they do a little different than a lot of people do, they play with their tight ends are excellent blockers. They've got big, athletic tight ends that are excellent blockers that bothered us a little bit last year, of course, in the running game. So that's something we're going to have to handle and be able to take care of. They utilize their tight ends really well in the blocking scheme, and they also can go out for routes and catch the ball. But their tight end structure is very good.
Coach,
and their quarterback gets them in a lot of the right runs too. He does a lot of checking. Yes, that's all right. I stopped on you. It's my fault.
So two-part question on receivers. What update can you maybe give on Laviska and Jay? And then, depending on their status, is this a week where maybe some of those next guys in line are guys you're going to be looking to make plays?
Yeah. Jay's in concussion protocol, and so we'll know as the week goes along on that. And then Viska's a day-to-day. We're trying to we'll know day to day on that. So just kind of, it's still all up in the air with both of those guys.
And what about those next guys in line?
Yeah, we've got some other good players that have done well, and of course, Tony Brown is a guy that's filled in all along and done really well. He's a starter now, played really well. Katie Nixon has played really, really well. The other guys that have done good is Jalen Jackson. We have Dimitri Stanley, Donovan Lee, Kavion Into. All those guys will play more this week if those other guys can't go.
A little bit more on your defense, Mike. Your front seven has played well all year. Is that something that you kind of knew was going to happen in camp? Did you see that developing then?
Yeah, I did see it developing then. I did, and then when we moved Nate inside and were able to play Drew outside, that helped us also. Drew's ability to play on the edge against the teams that all the different types of styles we see in pass rush too, and then Nate inside has helped us a lot. Davion Taylor keeps getting better and better on the outside too. And then we've been able to rotate D linemen in there. They've played really well. Jace Frankie is out. He tore his ACL, so that's going to hurt us in our rotation. That'll mean that probably Terrence Lang would play a little bit more in the base rotation. He plays in the nickel all the time now. So that I have to step him up a little bit there. So I feel good about the rotation. I feel good about the way those guys have been playing. This football team that we're going to play presents a little bit different aspect in the running game to us. So hopefully we'll be able to do well against it. That's the best we've ever played against USC in the running game. And I think they have a very good running game. But they hit us over the top a couple times, which we can't have happen.
Has Drew really blossomed the last 2 or 3 weeks?
Yeah, he has. He's more and more comfortable. He's playing really well, and he's doing an excellent job.
Coach, what test is your secondary going to get this week in facing a guy like Jake Browning? I mean, what makes him so good? Just what makes him an elite quarterback?
Well, there's a bunch of things that make him good, but I think a couple of the things that make him really good, he's extremely accurate, and then he knows right where he wants to go with the football. And then I would say the third thing he does, he's one of those guys, you would say he's not a scrambler. He's able to stay alive. It's kind of amazing how he stays alive and keeps his eyes downfield and makes pass after pass on the scramble. So I've been really impressed with him. And he's kind of sneaky on his scrambling ability to go get a first down on 3rd down and 6, 3rd down and 5, that type of thing. But his ability to keep his head downfield on his scrambling and making plays that way. He made a huge play in the Oregon game where he went to the guy at first, got scrambled out, kept his eyes alive, and threw it all the way back across the field about 50 yards for a touchdown. He just is able to make plays. He's pretty much he's a different type of playmaking quarterback than you think. He's able to keep a play alive and still make an accurate throw.
Following your first loss of the season, how's the team responded, and who has really stepped up as a leader?
They've responded well. They've practiced well. Today we had a good practice. Yesterday we didn't practice as much. We did more of a walkthrough since we got in at 6 a.m. in the morning, and they were kind of beat up. So instead of practicing, we did more of a walkthrough and a conditioning type thing. But they got a lot accomplished in that. They were really focused, and we had a really good padded practice today. They were spirited. I thought all the captains were all our captains that are healthy did an excellent job of leading today and doing that. I thought both lines practiced really hard in our inside period and were physical, which is they might not have to speak. They spoke with their actions. So I thought that was good.
Coach, Southern Cal was really the first team this year to give Trayvon trouble, to really kind of keep him in check. Mm-hmm. Where do you see his mind at heading into this Washington team, and how has he responded to kind of just being held in place for the first time?
Yeah, Trayvon had a really good practice. He was upbeat. He was dancing in there this morning when I saw him at breakfast. Had his headsets on and trying to get me to dance with him and show me a new dance move. I probably need some. So, but he was upbeat, ready to go. And USC did a good job on defense against us, but he'll be ready to play. He's ready to roll.
Coach, how concerning was the play of the offensive line the other night, particularly with some of the penalties that we saw, the holding penalties from a couple different guys up there?
Yeah, the penalties are very discouraging, and that's something we had talked about all week. To get done, and didn't get it as done as well as we'd like. But we knew they were physical and different things, and we didn't play as well as we'd like up front for sure. And they definitely caused some of it. USC did, and we've got we cut down. We talked about penalties all week long. I believe we still won the penalty battle in the game. We won the turnover battle and we won the rushing battle. If you would have told me that coming out of the game and then we lost, I would have said, "Woo!" If you're going into the game, you say you're going to win the penalty battle, you're going to win the turnover battle, you're going to win the rushing battle. I think you got a chance to win it, and we didn't. We gave up too many big plays and had too many negative plays that brought back plays of ours. So penalties at the wrong time. But USC caused that. They played well up front. All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it.